Hello, everybody. It's me again. I don't even know why I'm recording again. I guess because Mariah's doing her homework. Mommy's helping her. Mommy's been very good at helping her this year. Thank goodness. Mommy has been doing a very exceptional job. She does all of the laundry. She does her hair every morning. And a lot of times I was waking up at 6:30 to ask her for breakfast, but lately I've been kind of waking up at 7, or not always, but like on occasion, and mommy's already gotten her ready. So mom has been doing a very exceptional job, and would like to say I'm proud. I don't want her head to get blown up, but I am proud. And I'll just leave aside all of the things that she may or may not have said towards me, because that's regardless. The most important thing here is Mariah, and that she's raised in an environment where, for the most part, she feels loved, and she understands that even though that mommy and daddy may have issues, that has nothing to do with her at all. And like I may have mentioned in the video earlier, I would like to instill in her values. Because like how they say, if you don't know what you stand for, you'll fall for anything. So that's my number one concern. Just to make sure that she understands the how important it is to put priorities in your life. Like, for instance, put love first above and all else. It even says put love before you put your loved ones. You have to put love, put love first. Put love before yourself. Put love before your desires, your ambitions, your wants, your needs, or whatever. Well, I mean, if love is with you, you shall not be in want. So that's regardless, anyways. But I mean, she's still young, but I don't think it's too early to start talking about it. I do talk to her sometimes. Sometimes she gets a little like zoned out, or she maybe doesn't quite understand. But I think if she doesn't quite understand it yet, maybe it plants a seed, or maybe with time, um, she starts understanding what I'm talking about. Um, like I said in the video earlier, I said, I hope you feel grateful for it, because I feel like saying, oh, make sure you say, make sure you say thank you. It's kind of like, you know, yes, it is the right thing to do to teach your children to say thank you, but I want it to be more than that. I want it to be that they don't just say thank you. I want it to be that they feel thankful. And that's why I started saying, I hope you feel grateful, like that kind of thing. Life here in the U.S. is very tough. People don't seem to realize it. The U.S. has a very, 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 we've had a lot of technological advancements. And along with those technological advancements, a lot of corporations have taken advantage, because the layman is, let's just say the layman is not fully educated. So the layman will just go about his business, live their lives according to maybe what they learned in high school. And even some people that are in like undergrads and graduates, they still don't fully understand the concept of, like how the government controls, which that's their incentive, because that's how they govern, through controlling the masses. And a lot of things like free speech, which we are taught that, we have free speech, but there have been studies done that show that the United States is not one of the countries with, the utmost free speech. Now, all that could be hearsay that I heard, and of course, like I always say, question everything you hear, either on the TV, on the internet, any type of screen that you see. The best way possibly to educate yourself is to try to go to advanced education, like through like a college or university, where they will teach you things that a lot of the masses don't get to learn about, because let's just face it, it's not very, a lot of it is not, well, a lot of YouTube creators have tried to make some of the content interesting, but in the process, what I've noticed in a lot of like these videos that try to talk about, like, maybe like science and stuff like that, just for like like clicks, and for like to amass, like to like grow their audience, it's a lot of repetition. So what I would recommend mostly is maybe like, let's say you go into like a college and you visit their bookstore, find a topic you're interested in, and based on your level of education, make sure that you're somewhat able to understand it, and read the book. When you read the book, a lot of it won't be repetition. They'll discuss the thing maybe a couple times, because in order to like, like if they go back to refer, like, so that they can reference it into something, into a new concept that they're trying to teach you about, things like that. But in YouTube, some of these channels, they'll just repeat the same thing over and over again. And also another thing too is, even though audio-visual learning is for some people, I really do believe that when you read something, you're actually better able to attain it. I mean, that might depend on the individual also as well. And one thing I'm very, very excited about now that I'm talking about science is I read a textbook a little while back. I had enrolled in a class about I think it was it astrology, or was it I think it was astrology. Might have been the universe. Yeah, there's two different branches, I forget. And I enrolled in that class. The mathematics were very tough, so I kind of like, dropped out. But I did end up reading the whole book all the way to the very end. The very end, they started talking about the black holes, and like something radius, and rotating black holes, and black holes that are still. And then they started getting to a lot of like theoretical stuff. The problem with theoretical stuff is that it's theory. It's mostly proven because of there's a lot of like things that can back it up, but it's still a theory at the end of the day. And but I learned a lot from that book. That book was like an eye opener to me. It made me realize a lot about like the advancements that we've made through just looking through a telescope. I think Galileo Galilei was, essentially credited for making the first telescope, but I don't really think he was. But the book I read talked about different types of telescopes. The ones that use glass so that they can absorb the light. The ones that also use lenses. Different types of telescopes that they have. And one of the things that I found most fascinating was about the spectrometry, I think it was, about how based on the light emitted by, like let's say an exoplanet aligns with our line of vision when it passes a star, the light that it gives off, it will give off certain electromagnetic electromagnetic waves, and based on those waves, we can determine like the composition of the atmosphere, and what's in that planet or not. And these are things that are very fascinating, because we're able to learn a lot about things that are very, very far away from us, and it's just truly amazing. Some of the first people that did a lot of this spectrometry were, believe it or not, women. They would spend time and time looking at, printouts of what the telescopes gave out, and they would compare it. They would say, like, if there was a rise in here and there was a dip here, there was a rise here, a dip here. They would determine, okay, this exoplanet consists of this much hydrogen, or this much, helium, this much whatever, different things. And after I read the book, I kept watching YouTube videos, and I realized that a lot of the things in that book was an old book. It was 2006, so right now it's ancient, especially with the space web, the space web telescope that's orbiting around like the L1 point, I believe. And that right now has scientists puzzling, because there are galaxies which should not have formed in the time that they had, based according to the Big Bang Theory. Because according to the Big Bang Theory, just like hundreds of millions of years after the Big Bang theories, the universe was still opaque. But these galaxies are actually bigger, according to what I've seen in these videos, than like our own Milky Way galaxy. So how could they have formed? So it's very interesting stuff. Like I said, I'm not an academic. I never got a formal education, but it's something that I think is very interesting. And I love the fact that there's a lot of like amateur, like stargazers, people that go out with their telescopes. And some of these people do find big findings, believe it or not. And it's just wonderful to know that it exists. Unfortunately, I'm not affluent enough to buy like a nice telescope like that, but I'm happy that there are other people that are doing it. And then the next thing I was gonna say is that nothing else. That's it. I just wanted to make this quick short video because I wanted to shoot something while my daughter's doing her homework, and I went to the supermarket to try to send a fax out, because right now I'm trying to get some health insurance to help me with my medical bills. And I tried calling all day today because there were some documents that needed to be that they needed to receive today. And I tried to speak to a human being. I must have called them. Let me see if I have the phone on me. No, the phone's right in front of me. I called them several times, and every time I called them, they would just say, all of our callers are busy right now, please call back later, and they hung up on me. I never got to speak to a human being, so I decided to try to fax it. I did not have enough money to fax to the both fax numbers that they had, because one was in Tallahassee, the other one was a toll-free number. But both times I faxed it said that a voice was detected, so I don't know if they received it or not, but I guess I'll try to call again and see if they can extend it, because I really do need to try to get this health insurance, because even though I have been able to get work lately, everything is just very, very, very expensive now, my daughter, if she has a field trip or an end of school party, or just the little traditions I like to keep along, like buying her Saturday meal, and maybe some unspoken meals that we haven't gotten lately, or just anything that she might want, like I want to be able to provide for her. And obviously I'm not the best provider, because I don't have a full-time job yet. And even if I did have a full-time job yet, I would need with the level of education I have, I would need two sources of income in the house in order to be able to, provide a household. And then even at that, my problem is unless I work from home, it would kind of be someone neglectful towards my daughter, which is what I felt a lot when I was younger. But not because my parents did it on purpose, but because they did it because they wanted to do us, give the most to us. But at the same time, you got to realize that the time with your children is invaluable, and time with your children is time that, you can instill values in them. You can instill, you can raise them to be, a person that holds good moral values, that maybe, picks up a little bit of wisdom along the way. Not just somebody that gets toys or, gets a nice life with like cable TV. All those things essentially don't mean anything. I actually saw a video today that said that if you have a friend, like one good friend, that's like the equivalent of like of making $100,000 a year, and it says certain things about like how, things that we don't have that would actually add to our happiness, but we don't tend to think about because, everybody's obsessed over power or money, I should say. All right, well, I'm going to cut this short. Thanks for joining me a second time today on May 22nd. Right now it is approximately, what time was it? It was probably like 7:30, 18, no wait, I lied. I don't know, maybe 7:30, 17:30, I mean, no. Yeah, it's probably about 1800 hours. No, is it 6 o'clock already? No, it's past 6 o'clock. What time is it? Oh my goodness, I have no idea. It's like 1930. All right. Well, anyways, bye everybody. Have a great evening. Thank you.